how do you feel about Elliot and this her coming back and shading in air quotes people?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like Candy and Elliot in that moment could have left it on the playground. Like Elliot, if you go come with a read, then there need to be a fucking like encyclopedia. Give me Britannica,
Hmm.
okay? Hit me with the books. Hey everybody, if you're here on the line with us, this is Drag from the Left, a weekly digital series where we dish all things RuPaul's Drag Race and current events that are going on around the world from a radical leftist perspective. This is the very Reverend Dr. Juanita Bind'Em on the line.
Yes, and this is Avery Ware, he, they pronouns.
It is nice to be back for a second week here doing the damn thing. It is a process. We kind of just like decided on like a Wednesday, a week ago that we are going to do this, and then bam, episode Friday, recorded on Sunday, and put it out there. So I'm enjoying it. So we're gonna keep putting it on out there. Um, so, just in light of everything that's going on, I would like us to take a short moment, a very short moment, because in many ways, this serves as, I like us to be a smidgen of escapism and joy, but also you can't just like just like painstakingly ignore what's going on like out there in the world. So, we could take a
Right.
brief moment to discuss the tomfoolery, fuckery, and the shenanigans that are happening here on the United States of America, on this piece of stolen land. So we can dish on that for a minute. We can dish on that for a minute. So how you feeling, Avery?
Yeah, just for a second. I mean, it was heavy, right? That happened on what, Tuesday?
Yeah, I think so.
Tuesday or Wednesday?
What is time? What is time? Question
Right. What
mark.
is time? What is space? It does not matter anymore. Um, and as you know, I had a very busy work with week, with week, with I had a very busy week with work. So when everything was going down, I was in like the midst of like a bunch of foolishness on my job. So like I'm trying to do my work, but also paying attention to the news. And then like I'm a pretty emotional person, so things that going on in the world affect me directly. Um, so like, I'm trying to work and be productive, but all of this is going on. Um, and it was just a lot, but it was not surprising. A lot of people have come to me and been in group chats and said like, "This is crazy. This is wild. I've never seen anything like this in my life." And neither have I. I've never seen anything like it before, not firsthand. And that's the power of social media. But I'm not surprised that this something like this happened, especially in America, especially in DC, because and I said this on social media, that is the true face of America. What we witnessed on Tuesday is what whiteness, how whiteness has manifested in this country, right? It's not solely a race. It is whiteness as a mechanism for power, for dominance, um, for ultimate just like fuck the rules, fuck your laws. It does not apply to me. Um, Nothing is applicable to whiteness because whiteness doesn't make sense, right? As a structure,
Okay.
as a concept, it does not make sense.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so why it was a little disheartening to see and why it was heavy to see, it was not surprising because again, it was a continuation of a legacy of white supremacist violence that I was not surprised to see, and I won't be surprised when it happens again.
Absolutely. I think the delusion of white supremacy is innately violent. It always has been. It always will be, and it is a necessity for it to, to stay where it's at. To be violent. It's the only way to do and live in that delusion. It's the only way. So I can share in the
Hmm.
sentiment that I was not surprised. Of course, I
Hmm.
had not seen. Many of us had not seen us, I would say even, probably 40 and under have not seen something at least not televised in this way
Right.
or shared in video format, in this way. But I do know that this has happened. in the past.
Mm.
This is not new. This is not original. Um,
No, not at all.
and the Donald is not the only reason that this is happening. This energy has,
Very that.
I don't know, if you're a person of color,
Very
if you
that.
black, if you queer, you trans, you all this, you already know that like Trump is uh you know a snapshot picture of what we've already
Yeah.
been experiencing, but these people had already believed this before. I mean, like literally, how else is my black ass in the
Right.
United States of America? Like, like,
Yeah, it
like,
makes no sense. And that is one of the most like harmful things. And there's been a lot of harm throughout these last 4 years. But that perception that Trump is now like the face of white supremacy, and that it starts with him, and once he's out of office, it'll end with him. Like that
yeah,
is
and we all
like
know,
that. Go ahead.
yeah, and we know that is a lie.
Yeah.
The white supremacist fabric of this nation allowed that individual to become president. Um, you know, uh, and we're getting to the point where it's sad that I think we should be at the point where like harm should not have to happen to you individually for you to understand, and to do work to live a life that does not support the harm that happens to others. But white supremacy doesn't work for white people either, and I think many of them are starting to see and understand what we
Hmm.
mean when we say
Hmm.
that. Um, but so just wrap this up. I just want to say this to anybody out there, particularly white folk, when you're listening to this, is that what I said was that white supremacy does not work for white people either. But when we are moving in the way of justice, liberation, restoration, and healing, that we need to be reaching to the communities of people who were at most harm. And
Hmm.
since the inception of this nation, Black people, people that are from whose origins lie in Africa, are those that have been harmed, the most by this, and that is the perspective, the people that we need to be, fighting for and with and listening to and establishing, as leaders. But I think we spent maybe a minute too long on that, so let's
Just
move
a
on.
taste.
Um,
Yeah,
Ru-
let's get to this episode
yeah,
because
RuPaul's
there was a
Drag
lot.
Race season
Se-
13,
Season 13,
episode
episode
2.
2.
Episode 2. Broad thoughts.
Okay,
Broad thoughts.
what are your first, like, you watched the episode, the credits run, what did you think?
Okay, so all in all, I thought that episode 2 was cute. It was a cute episode.
Hmm.
I like when I get to see I know it has to be nerve-wracking as a contestant, but I like when I get to see multiple looks and point of views from the competitors, because then
There was so
my
many
opinion,
looks.
yeah, because then my opinion doesn't have to be like based on a fluke. When I see 3 and 4 looks, I can kind of deduce from that, like, oh, okay, this is this person's point of view, this is their taste level. So I
Hmm.
like to see that. And some of my faves are in this top group. Um,
Yeah.
so I got to see them go through a variety of feels and emotions with that. Once again, I am enjoying this much larger judges panel with them not so up close on top of each other. I think it should remain this
Yeah.
way forever.
It
Um,
just makes sense.
it makes so much sense. Like, is the budget not big enough for a larger table? But
I know it
I
is.
so I am enjoying this larger table. Honestly, if I could
Hmm.
sit places with plexiglass between me and others for the rest of my life, I would be down.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
you know,
Hmm.
so that's how I feel. I think it was a good episode. I do think that these twists and turns. I feel like Rue is just kind of like. Bored and doing and like shaking the snow globe, bored and like shaking the snow globe, tapping the fish tank, tapping on it, turning things upside down. I'm just like, okay, girl, okay,
Yeah, I was like, I'm about to get whiplash. All these twists and turns, like, and
okay.
we love the goopery of Drag Race, but sometimes it can be too much goopery.
It's like,
Yeah, so
oh, and
let's
another twist.
yeah, and another thing, and so they're coming back, and this person's coming back, and now we're going to split you into two groups, like we did in the season 12 premiere. But first, you're going to do a lip sync, and the person you
It's like,
voted off is really
okay.
coming back. It's like a lot. Like pump the brakes. So let's get into it. Let's break it down. So last episode, they left off with informing the queens that they now have to vote someone off based on who is in the pork chop loading dock, right?
Yeah.
So Juanita, if you were in the loading dock amongst in this group,
Joey J,
who
there
would
we
you be
go.
sending home? Couldn't even get it out. Yeah, same.
She can cluck
Yeah,
and buck her way back home. Go ahead on.
right out that door. Yeah, same. I mean, just not really impressed. And like of that group, pretty much all my faves besides Tamisha are in the winner circle.
Right.
But of that group, I mean, yeah, she was the most underwhelming to me. So that would be my
Yeah.
choice too.
Joey,
But the Queen
like, it's
chose
not even
differently. Okay.
it's not even the chicken feathers for me. Because let's talk about the feather elitism on RuPaul's. This is like,
Come on,
um,
which harkens back to our conversation last week about pay inequity and all that. Like, what if she can't afford the ostrich? Like,
I was like, literally, who was it? Was it Kyle Moore that was like, I'm in who one of them? I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was like,
Denali, she was like, I'm an ostrich, Kimura's an
yeah,
ostrich, you're a chicken feather, so you gotta go.
so you gotta go. Now look, when you come into this room, I'm just thinking, I'm just imagining. Just say it was like RuPaul's Drag Race, motherfucking, you know what? Honestly, I'd be thinking, forget Drag Race. I'd be thinking like the Hunger Games Gay Edition Cleveland, so I could be taking these motherfuckers out. But I'm like, if I had to vote some motherfuckers off the island day one, you know what I'm saying? Just like looking, like, what do you base it off of? And like a lot of people like base it off look. A lot of people, base it off of who you identify as the strong character going in. I know first and foremost, I would go, I would definitely pull a Tamisha and be like, I'm the only black one, so don't you dare
Listen,
about to eliminate
soon as she said it, I said, I know that's right.
But I would probably do about it, like taking into consideration a couple different things, like the taste level and of what I thought when they came in. I will also, the thing is that last group was a group of 3, so Elliot with 2 T's and Kamora were in the same group. So you did get to see, another competitor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do a little thing, what you had heard of in the streets, who you think drag is similar to yours. I probably would have got rid of the person whose aesthetic was closest to mine. Because they always it only can be one, one and in little categories. So I just be like, if it's another campy queen in this bitch, she gotta go.
Yeah.
The only thing
and I said Joey J.
Go ahead.
So I said Joey J that I would vote her off, but looking back at it, it would probably be Denali actually, because her attitude was just, how I feel about her. But notwithstanding my comments last week, if I was like meeting her for the first time, I would just be like, she's not pleasant to be around. That would be my vote. And I understand like you're disappointed that you lost, and now you can hit with all these twists and turns, and you've probably been on your feet all day, and it's annoying. But you weren't on camera, and you're on a show, and now you're in a position where you need to be liked so you can stay. And she just no, and that harsh ass contour. I would just have to go
that that contour. Now look, I am not. So like a hard drag contour is not always bad to me. Like that is a way of transforming and building the face. I do think the color that she used, like the strong line, does not give me a problem in drag. It's the fact that she chose a color that was so deep to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe that was it. I don't mind harsh lines either. Most queens do have harsh lines when it comes to the cheeks in their contour. But yeah,
but the color
it didn't look. The color and it just didn't look finished. Like,
well, speaking of look finished, now I'm supposed to I'm sitting here at this motherfucking table, supposed to be getting myself in full drag, doing the motherfucking thing. I done glued the brows down. I done washed my face. I done shaved. I done did the whole damn thing. And today my mood was just so in like another fucking place. And today was definitely one of those days where I kind of like probably needed some like external stimulation to help me regulate. I don't know what was going on. I don't know, probably just an amalgamation of a bunch of different things. But I got to painting this face, and it just was not going right. And I got overwhelmed, and I started to cry like a little baby. And I was like, you know what? We can try this again next week. So,
no, it'll be better next week.
Don't worry, I'm gonna drop some pictures on the social medias of me. I got plenty of pictures of me in the looks, so I'm gonna post them out there. You will see us, doing that. But so back into that. So you would have. I can definitely see that you probably would have voted for Denali. I would have voted for Joey J. Mm-hmm. Now, what the gaggery of it all is that they voted for Elliot with 2 T's, not just once, but 2 times.
Twice, yes. So we got 2 rounds of voting. Yeah. First was a tie between Utica and Elliot, and then Elliot unanimously got voted off the second time. That's not funny. I'm sorry.
It is, because somebody was like, they were like, oh, we don't have to be nice anymore. Like, we already voted once. I'm gonna just say what I wanted to say in the first place.
Yeah, and I'm interested to know who switched their vote from Utica to Elliot and why.
Now we'll find out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna come up. It's gonna start some drama. They did that on purpose. So Elliot is under the impression that she's going home. She gets loaded off. Commercial break. The top 6 are back, right? Or the winner's circle. Let's say the winner's circle. They're under the impression that they are the top 6, which to me, I can see it 2 ways, right? The logistical part of me is like, we are in a pandemic. They're probably trying to, film this really quick. So it's much easier if we shoot 6 or 7 episodes as opposed to 13 or 14 like in a normal season. So I can see why they would think that, they were the top 6, right? But another part of me is like, this is Drag Race. There's going to be a twist. Y'all know, they're not going to start out with 6 girls that's never been done before. So like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, how genuine is this? Like, we are the top 6, whatever.
Look at this bullshit. First off, I know for a fact, now one, I would have been shooketh because I don't know what's happening, but I would have known that no more than one of us was going home. There is no way. Like, from the minute they did that thing, I was just like, you know what? This is reality TV, RuPaul's Drag Race, drama, drama of it all for the fucking bullshit. And I'm just like, absolutely not. I know for a fact they are not about to send 6 or 7 of us home. It's not happening.
Yeah, I was watching the first episode. Like, they're not going to send all 70 just girls home. That's not realistic.
The funny part to me is like the confessionals. When are the confessionals recorded? Because I just like
I would like to know.
In the confessionals, I'm gonna find out. I feel like in the confessionals, it seemed like they really putting on like they saying it like it's it's presently happening, but they giving me a past tense energy, if you get what I'm saying. Like they as if it already happened and now they're recanting it as if it's currently happening,
Yeah. Confessionals always kind of I've always been interested in confessionals and reality TV. And like you said, when they're filmed, and like the questions that they're being probed with, whatever, because it's not happening in real time. It's just impossible. So it has to happen after they film, or at least they film they might film a day. Like I feel like they have like their mini challenge day or whatever, and then they might do a confessional, and then like elimination day confessional, something like that. I don't know, but it's something that always interests me in a bunch of reality shows. Like when and where and how is this filmed, and how are we getting the commentary that we now have, even though we know that y'all have experienced this already.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd be thinking the exact same thing, but I think it just depends on the nature of the show. But back to it, they think it's 6, but then
they think it's 6
out with like, oh, this queen went home too early. Like, you mean yesterday? Like, you mean fucking, because this whole concept that like it's a week, when they talk about weeks, a week is 3 days on this show. Yeah, it's not a whole week. It does not take them 7 days to record one episode of Drag Race. It's like 2 to 3 days. And like, oh, and you just in the home, and then Elliot comes walking in the room. First off, I was thinking like Elliot, I probably would have felt like I was in a bit of an odd position. I have got eliminated 3 times. Now I'm back in the room with the bitches who I know in my head done figured out. Because what happens when you get people together, particularly in a competition, we try to figure out it's the ugly part of human society. We like figure out these other ways to other each other. So it's like we're the six or we're the top. You know what I'm saying? Those other girls. Da, 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 da. This is like, honestly, it was one episode. We all done seen what type of flukes that happened in an episode. Like Valentina went home. That was a fluke. You know, so we're like, oh, what the fuck was that? Sasha Velour came and stole a whole fucking season. Now we love Sasha over here, but I'm just saying we was not expecting.
Let's keep it real, right?
We love Sasha, but we was not expecting that. You know what I'm saying? By any other type of math, it was like, this is Shay season. Shay about to come through and kill these bitches, and it was like, oops, never mind. So you know, it's just these moments like that. Anything could change. So I know these bitches did not think that because they was in when they little lip sync in the episode 1. You know what I'm saying? Particularly with the lip sync performances that they was doing, because these weren't the lip syncs where you like jump out of your seat and you know, because you know me when I'm at a drag show, when a bitch do a certain type of thing, you go get all the money that's left in my pocket, and the other queens just go be, I'm sorry, because what homegirl just did, she getting all the coin in my pocket. I didn't see none of those, so I don't know. It was a fair game to me when Elliot came in the room. I was like, oh, I thought it was a fair game. You know, like I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm doing the thing.
Okay, I feel that. Like, yeah, that's definitely a different interpretation from like the discourse online. But no, I definitely understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. So Elliot is here, and Tina is gagged. She was like, "Bitch, I thought I sent you home."
I thought I sent you home.
Can I just press pause for a little bit? Because Tina Burner was absolutely entertaining to me this episode, and for one particular reason, and that's because she don't like nobody. Like, Tina Burner don't like nobody. She got a problem with Rose. She got a problem with Elliot. She had a problem with Candy. Tina Burner don't like nobody. She was like, I'm here to win in my orange, yellow, and red, and go back to New York.
Listen here. Tina Burner is sometimes a contentious subject. People like, the thing about Tina is that Tina Burner will cause a reaction in you. Either you go like Tina or you not go like Tina. You go have an opinion on some way. And I like so far that I was watching it with a friend of mine, and they were like, I can't stand Tina. Ugh, God. I was like,
really?
Oh, she did a good job in that, but I can't stand her. I was like, there's something about her personality that does feel that bit of brash. It does feel like she might. It's just she's that type of bitch that don't like nobody. And honestly, she probably is loving and kind and all of that. But you know, some people got that type of look about them.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
which is actually why I really liked her runway look, because I really think that was like, and we'll get to it, but I think it was.
I know where you're going with
not
this.
Only,
I agree.
And not only is she funny because she don't like nobody, but she is so thoughtful. Like, it's like almost like she almost meticulously thinks of everything. But yeah, more, and I'm still, you know, my comments from last week still hold up. I'm still a little iffy about the name, but the queen itself. The queen itself, I enjoyed what she did this episode.
Well, okay. To me, the type of drama that she brings is the type of drama I would like to see in a reality TV show. Like, it's the same thing. It's different than Simone's, because Simone has that beautiful Southern charm to it that I feel with it. But it's the type of drama that's like good-hearted, good intended. It's just, it is what it is. It's straight up. It's not. I don't feel like Tina's playing a dirty game. You know? No,
not at all. And I just think it almost seems like she's not even trying to start drama on the show. It's like she's just being honest. Like, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. What you give is not my tea, and that's just what it is. It's not like a Elliot who is stirring up drama on purpose just to stir up drama. Right. So let's okay, let's go into it, and then we can backpedal for the mini challenge. So what I wrote down in my notes is that Elliot is giving me very much a Derek Barry. And in my mind, that's not a place you want to be. That is not a comparison you will want to have, because for me on season 8, Derek Barry was someone who stirred up drama mainly with queens of color. Mainly with Black queens, because she knew what she had to offer wasn't as great. So the made her make me relevant on the show, the made me make relevant in this competition, is to be shady and start drama. And that's what Elliot was giving to me. Then I rewatched it, and I did point. Someone did point out to me that Candy actually did start with Elliot a little bit when she asked Tina how she felt, how Elliot being there because she sent her home, and then Elliot kind of clapped back. Um, and everyone was like, "Elliot is reading the girl." She came back in with a vengeance, and I was just like, "It was okay." Like Candy said something, she clapped back. Like it wasn't that big a deal to me. I don't think she was reading anybody. Uh, how do you feel about Elliot and this her coming back and shading in air quotes people?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like Candy and Elliot in that moment could have left it on the playground. Like Elliot, if you go come with a read, then there need to be a fucking like encyclopedia. Give me Britannica,
Hmm.
okay? Hit me with the books, okay? Hit me with the books, and then, but on the same back end, Candy doing the like the soft half volume. Like what is she? I know she's not over there doing the poem. I know she. Boo. Give me the. Excuse me, miss.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, you had a lot of mouth. You had a lot of mouth in that confessional. You had a lot of mouth when you was talking to Lala, but you didn't say that to her.
Right. So I just
Yeah,
thought the whole thing could have freaking stayed on the playground. I don't. That I wouldn't have picked neither one of them for my dodgeball team. Absolutely not. Because I ain't a bitch. No. And the thing is, like Candy, they gonna try to give you the edit. Now they say you the mean bitch from New York City. You come for your own mama. You come for your own mama. So you might as well just either. You know what I'm saying? Like let them know.
right.
Now you can
And it
read
was
the
interesting
love.
that
You can
right,
read
and
the
it was
love.
interesting that she called Aja her mom, her drag mom, on this episode when she was so adamant that it was a former house of Aja, episode one.
Well,
Um,
child, sometimes with my own mama, it's like, some days it'd be like, oh my God. Other days it'd be like, okay, that's my mama.
yeah,
but
I
it all,
feel it.
they always hold that spot. You know what I'm saying? And, they
Yeah, I
talked
feel
about this
it.
on another show that at the end of the day, I'm not the type that's like, oh, well, some people say like we wouldn't know Candy without an Aja, but that also Candy's talent is what allows Candy to maintain that spot. So I do think there's like this
Hmm.
fun balance where like you pay homage to the person who opened the door, paved, and created the way for you to be where you are, but also you can stand in your shit and be like, I'm fucking sickening all by myself. So
Right.
it's a fun line, and I think that comes from a spot from self actualization and really just being able to sit in your own, just knowing who you are, but also being able to continue to lead with love and not need too much external validation for what you are good at. So that's how I felt about that little drama. For me, the favorite part about the drama was the fact that I got to hear Lala Ree talk, because I love the sound of her voice,
Oh,
and she was just
I
talking to
love
Candy,
it.
and I didn't give a fuck what she was saying. I just wanted to hear her talk.
Child, her, I wrote in my notes, Lala Ree and Candy Kikian in the workroom was one of my favorite parts of this episode. Like, Lala Ree is just so, like, she seemed like so inviting and so welcoming. Like, I feel like we all got a homegirl like Lala Ree. I know I do.
Child,
She was like,
I want one.
Miss Elliot. She was like, Miss Elliot with two T's. Might want to calm down. And I was like, she is so Atlanta.
Uh,
Like, I was like, she is just quintessential Atlanta drag. I really enjoy Lala Ree. All right, so
let's
let's get into this mini challenge.
yeah, let's do it.
This mini challenge is the fashion show, and I still can't get over how this fashion show with two looks is a mini challenge. But it
Yeah,
is.
how?
Uh, how two looks, two like mini challenge. It gags me. But the category is for the first go around. So there's two categories. They have to do a look for each category. First category is ladylike daytime look, and the second category is a vampy nighttime look that reads like I'm a whore, I'm a hoe, I'm about to go to the club and like let loose, right?
Right.
Um, so we'll be here all day if we went through every single queen. So just tell me, who is your favorite from the daytime look and why?
Okay. Favorite from daytime. So I will say that I thought God Mix daytime look was really cute. I'm always a fan of a latex number, and I thought it was a cute way to kind of reinvent the rainbow. Like she gave me the whole sky. The
Mm-hmm. Her face was
and to
beat.
yeah. Now this is my thing. The only thing that really threw me off is that I think God Mix is an extremely talented makeup artist, and I know that they there's a amount of time that they have to switch and the makeup in between the day and nighttime look. I thought that the makeup that they did really 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 complemented their nighttime look very well, but I didn't think it complemented the daytime look as much. I would have loved for them to give me one of their typical white faces that they do, because I thought they could have really complemented like the clouds and like the art painting kind of way. It was kind of like, I feel like I could have it would have put me more in a space of like Teletubbies with the baby and the sunshine at the end. That's kind of what I wanted to feel. But that look as a daytime look was a standout for me.
Yeah. So mine, I'm riding with my fave, Simone. This 90s inspired, like Baps, Ronnie's from Players Club aesthetic was everything to me. Everything. Like, but got mixed looks. Shit, her whole looks the whole show were phenomenal. But she was a very close second for me. And I see what you're saying about the white face. I do think it really would have complemented this look. But I like that she didn't do it. She switched it up. I think a lot of the girls switched it up this episode right at the right time, which makes me believe that they studied the format of the show. They know when to give something different, so they're not being repetitive, or they know they're gonna get red for being repetitive. So he switched it up. So I like the fact that she switched it up. Your fave from the Vampy Nighttime I'm a Hoe look.
My favorite Vampy Nighttime I'm a Hoe look goes to the Ebony Enchantress, Miss Simone. When she turned the corner with the hair, she won for me. The fact that we can see hairstyles that are native to the motherland on this motherfucking TV show is what's good for me. This bitch done did the motherfucking box braid bob with the balls on the end. Okay, I think this hairstyle is from the Congo. But then with the hair color choice, now it was not. There are those hairstyles where they cover their hair in the red clay, right? Now this was not red clay, but it was that red color which kind of gave you, you know what I'm saying, the same feel as if it was in the red clay, like. Oh, these type of hairstyles to me will always be sickening because they're futuristic, current, and past all at the same time.
Yes.
And I just love to give me fake hair, but give me fake hair that could potentially grow out your scalp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what she gave. And it really complimented her outfit and the colors of the outfit, the neutral. And it looked like she was straight off the set of Love Jones, which is my favorite movie.
Also, the outfit was giving me?
What?
If this thing, the revolution begins. We out here macheting motherfuckers in the street doing what we gotta do.
But still looking great.
Yeah, we in the bunkers, we doing what we doing, and then you meet up with another group, or whatever. You trying to test them out to see if they, if they good or if they bad, and then you spot this hot mama in the group over there. And I'm just like, if this is not my post-apocalyptic, Hunger Games, dystopian society, love, baby, boo, that's going to get me through, it's her.
Yeah.
And the fact that she never forgets to fucking oil that body down. Never. Like, that's part
of it. Always shining. Always shining.
Always. Like a well-tempered chocolate bar. Like, I'm into it. So that looked good for me. I would like to discuss some looks that I did not like in that moment real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm having a consistent problem with Elliot with 2T's hair. They have yet to wear hair yet that I think is worthy of Drag Race. I have yet to see any hair from them that is Drag Race worthy.
Come on. That first look I hated.
I'm not seeing, like, the hair is very pedestrian, very it's too
dry.
Relatable. The hair is just way too relatable for me. And the thing is, the queens sometimes in their photo shoots they do better. So if you go back and you look at Elliot's photo shoot of the red French outfit that they wore, they swapped the hair for hair that is just way more appropriate for this for me. But again, the girls have a certain amount of time to get ready or whatever. But I think this is a taste problem and not a preparation issue.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a fan of her. Like that red kind of French beret, but with a corset. Like, as soon as she turned the corner, I was like,
Also, how many times she gonna
no.
wear a corset over a dress? She did it 3 times in the same episode. A
Listen,
corset over the look, and I swear the corset from the main stage look is the same corset from the room. It's just too many times with the fucking black.
yeah, and like the corset was just like sitting on top of the dress. If you can wear a corset on top of the dress, cinch that bitch in. Like, give us body with it. Like, I don't, just not a fan. The one look I really did not like from, I know we went back to the second category, but from this, we went back to the first category. But the one I didn't like from the second category was Tina Burner's latex, orange, red, yellow look. Like, it hurt my eyes.
No, that one
I
was
hated
not.
it.
I get what Tina was trying to do with that. She was trying to let you know that I'm a second high mama too, but I'm just like, you could have came up with a full latex gown from, top to bottom, and or that them separates in the proportions of that just did not work. It did not.
And
work.
I like the color block moment, but not with those colors.
Yeah. But I will say I like Tina Burner's. Tina Burner has these stunning, ginormous long legs. They're a very tall person, and I do like the body that they create in drag. I thoroughly enjoy it. I also, unfortunately, I did not like either one of Candy Muse's looks either. I didn't think the first look went with the category, and I thought it didn't give the body any shape. Like, they're not even round. There is no shape there. And then the second look, to me, did not flatter them very well. I thought they looked like a little demon monster. Like the little thing that Jack turns into. When you don't give him cookie, no cookie. I was definitely feeling a no cookie vibe. And I wanted to know why the horns on her shoulders was so little. Like,
yeah, they were like the horns on the shoulders were little, and like the little parts that came out of her thighs were too small too, I think.
Yeah, I'm just like, boo. But again, Candy's still one of my faves, but those looks just didn't do it for me. And they could have. I feel like those looks had the potential to be everything they needed to be and more. But I don't know. I'm certain we'll hear more about this, because maybe sometimes the queens don't know. And that's the thing about preparing. Sometimes they don't tell them what the look will be used for. Like, they'll tell them to prepare a look, but they don't know what for. Then I feel like knowing what for, on all of them could influence that. But I mean, that's the mini challenge. It was cute. They had a lot.
I always enjoy the fashion shows.
Yeah.
So the girls are back in the workroom. They're de-dragging.
Can you hear that?
Can I hear what?
You don't hear that thumping sound? No. Okay.
You hear it through your headphones?
Yeah, it's probably these headphones. Ooh, child. Somebody buy Juanita some new headphones. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear it, Frank.
Oh, okay, great. Let's
so yeah, hopefully the people can't hear it either. Okay, so Maxi Challenge. They have to do a music number. They have to write their own verses to RuPaul's song "Congratulations," and they also have to do their own choreo. Now, Justin Sims is here as a guest judge, but he is not helping with the choreography at all. And you can tell.
What the fuck you here for?
So I enjoyed Justin Sims, and his outfit that he wore was everything. It was so cute. This little cape number.
He's so cute.
Yes. So he is there as a guest, but he is not helping with choreography. The girls have to do this all on their own. So we can skip the little part about them writing lyrics. I want to go directly to this rehearsal because it was chaos. Too many voices, too many opinions, no one willing to take the lead and take charge, which I understand because, if you call yourself the leader and you guys fall on your ass, then you don't want to have to take responsibility for that, which I don't necessarily agree with, because it's a group effort. Just because someone's taking the lead doesn't automatically mean that it's their sole responsibility that the group didn't perform well. But that's the interpretation. That's what the girls go by. So while Elliot is a dancer and does choreography, she did not step up and take the lead. How do you feel about that? Until the last moment.
This is how I feel about it. I feel like it was a missed opportunity. Like, Elliot could have had the opportunity to sneak their way into the top that week, that episode, instead of once again they would have, in the middle. Like, I just feel if you are going to come in and you are a dancer and you in your your Meet the Queens and everything, you have, you know what I'm saying, said that you are the dancing diva. Like, we're talking about, like, you know how you think dance, you think Alyssa Edwards, like, you go there, like, this is what you're talking about doing. Then I would have came in the back, and there's a way that you can go about it and do it in a like a more subdued, a more demure type of way. But like, I know I'm new here, everybody, but I mean, I do dance. Would y'all mind if maybe I put together like the first 8 count? And people would have been like, cool. And once they realized that you could deliver something that was sickening, they all would have been down. And they would have did it because they would have loved to, if it got bad, to throw you under the bus. But the whole time in the back of my mind is like, I'm about to kill this motherfucking shit. Because the same thing happened last season with Widow Von Du in the first challenge where they had to do the rap. And Widow was supposed to be in charge of choreography. People were stepping over them, you know, this, that, and the third. But then they came and won the episode and got the cash prize. Like, you got to know, like, the whole time, Widow, like, these bitches can't argue. They can do what they want to do. I taught them the moves. I do what I can do. And if they want to take charge after that, whatever. But I'm going to kill my part. And that's all Elliot had to do, was kill they part. Like,
but she played it safe.
Yeah, and then she came out on the runway in that ugly ass outfit. But anyway, we could get to that ugly ass outfit. But
thank you, because I did not like it.
But they in that rehearsal struggling. I don't like anytime they do these choreography and they all want to stay in the same formation for a whole bunch of time. And I don't know. You know, I'm a show choir kid, so you know we about formations and sliding to the left, sliding to the right, and it's a few little simple moves that you should be able to do. You know what I'm saying, to figure that out. And like, y'all do shows, like, I know y'all know how to stage some little something. I kind of like that they make them do it on their own at first, because sometimes with a choreographer, you know, they come in and have a hard time getting through like that level of choreography. But also, these queens should be able to put together their own numbers. And I think that is a good skill to showcase on the show, and for them to have to flex that skill, you know? So I think that is great. So they put the number together and then they go ahead and they perform this motherfucking number. Now, how did you feel? I'm gonna hold off about some of the details with Got Mick for the after show, but how did you feel all in all with the lyrics?
I liked it. You know, well, let me know. It was okay. It was okay. I think Tina Burner did the best. But I was not like, I need to add this song to my Spotify right now. Like,
well, yeah, it's always hard when it's a bunch of them.
Okay. Yeah, it was just like, okay. I think a lot of them looked great. But as far as the song itself, I was just like, I wouldn't say I was underwhelmed. I was just like, this is nice. This is fine.
Well, look, let me tell you this. So I thought that, okay, so Candy Muse, I did not really care for either one of the mini challenge looks, but I thought their individual snapshot of the performance was absolutely sick. The look was right. To me, if you go come out here and do a pop star number, so good. That's the look. And also, I loved how the size of the coochie on the front of that fucking leotard. Like, that was that little itty bitty coochie on that fucking leotard. I fucking loved it. But then they turn around later and they want to wear this grandma panty. Like, nah, bitch, give me the motherfucking coochie cutter panty. I'm into that. But also, and then she flubbed though, like she killed it, and then flub. I was like, damn, because she could have had that. She could have had that. She really could have had that. And then another one I liked. Again, I like Simone's verse because it has the perfect amount. Yes, Simone's way of delivering comedy in a very suave kind of way.
Yeah,
that I enjoy. Everything they do is just smooth.
Yeah, it's like I'm a bad bitch, but I'm also funny.
Yeah,
like, and I'm also relatable.
Yeah, when she said talent you cannot replace, talent you can't replace, and then she did that little look. Look with the eyes. I was like, you better motherfucking give me Mayhem Miller drama with the eyes. I am so
Yes, Simone knows how to perform in a way that your eyes go directly to her. Like, even when she was in that back corner, my eyes were still on her. Well, her and Olivia. Olivia. It's like just natural. Olivia looks so good. That wig, that face, the face.
Well, just know right now I'm getting that hair. I am currently getting that hair.
Yeah, that wig was everything.
Also, I love her sing. Like she did a good job on her because she chose to like kind of really sing hers and not do like more like a bitch track type of moment. I was really into it. Yeah, it was cute. So main stage runway, LeMay is the category is LeMay.
Yeah, LeMay, you stay. Lala Reese said she just found out it's not lame. It's
It's not lame.
LeMay,
First
which
off,
made me
LeMay is
cackle.
a that is my least favorite fabric on the fucking planet. It is so hard to look cute in fucking LeMay.
Mm.
If you depending on what you make out of it, it shows a lot of lumps, a lot of bumps, a lot of non-smoothness on the body, and some of the girls really did a good job. And those designers know how fucking ugly fucking LeMay can be if it's not done right. So I am, I was appreciative of the route some of them took
Yes,
in those outfits with the LeMay, because that could have been real
it
bad.
could have been horrid, right? And I really love this runway, and I really love this group because it really showcased the diversity of the cast,
Yep.
the diversity in taste. I'm not talking about like race and gender and stuff like that, which it is a very diverse group in that regard as well. But like almost each look was a different interpretation of the challenge, which I
So
really enjoyed
different.
seeing. All of it was so different, which made for a really good runway, for a really good
Yeah.
program. Period.
Yeah.
Um, so, who's your favorite?
Um, these are the moments where I really enjoy watching Drag Race. Like seeing each look so different makes me excited for the next 11 episodes of this show. My favorite
Right.
looks were okay. So Simone, the Ebony Enchantress, comes out in a motherfucking boxing champion outfit, completely
Ooh.
brand. Completely branded the house down. The gloves say Avalon. The back says Ebony Enchantress. They still decided to give me a corset look, and you know it's a fucking six pack up underneath there.
Mm-hmm. The
Everything was
boots,
just right.
those Mary
The
J
boot,
boots.
the fucking Mary J boot with the white laces. I'm just like, and then not only did she just give me two little simple little braids to the side, but they was long as shit. I mean, she gave me two
Mm-hmm.
down to her ankle. Them braids was down
That's how
to the
you do it.
motherfucking ankle. And then just the detail of like, yeah, I whooped that bitch ass. I mean, she got me a little bit, just right there on the eyebrow. You know what I'm saying? Just right there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, she got a lot of her get that little shot in. I gotta get a little
Yeah, but
shot
I
in.
still won.
But I
You should see
still
the other
won.
girl.
Okay, you should see the other girl, and that's the type of fights I like to see because you don't want to see nobody fighting and they just beat the shit out of somebody. You want a little back
Yeah,
and
that's not
forth, and then with
enjoyable to
it.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. So she gave you a little work, but then you whooped that bitch. I was like, yes, honey.
Yes. Yeah,
And
I
then
love her interpretation of this challenge.
got Mick looks like it should be in a
Ooh.
museum. This should be in a museum. Like
Ooh.
this is the type of shit bitches need to be wearing to the Met Gala. Like I don't want to see nothing. This is the epitome of fashion. It was fashion. Like
Juanita, when I tell you I screamed at the TV, I said,
the
bitch!
boots, the headpiece, the boot, the makeup,
The
and then
makeup.
the cloak over it just works
Yes.
so. Like this is something I would want to see this in movies and action. Like I really hope that Gottmik does a
Yeah.
music video, something in motion with this outfit on. Loved it.
She
yeah,
looked
absolutely.
amazing. Ooh, I loved it. And like, not only did she look great, but she like sold it. She owned it. The clothes did, and it was a big. Sometimes in like those big extravagant like costumes and runways, sometimes they can wear the queen instead of the queen wearing it, like Elliot. But
Yeah.
she owned every part of it. I loved it. Like Gottmik was my favorite for all the reasons you said. Simone as well for all the reasons you said. But I also fucking love Tina Burner's look.
Okay, so I
That
thought
look,
Tina Burner's look was smart. It was intelligent. I loved it. I do think the thing that threw it off for me was the makeup. So like the silver paint was perfect, but they did a really odd eyebrow, and I feel like they could have added more depth to like I feel like the makeup could have took it to a different level. But everything else about it was quite stunning, and I'm really once again enjoying Tina Burner's showing. I hope that they start to pay attention to these really itty bitty tiny details so that they don't end up as the person who's always in second place. You know what I'm saying? Like Like, it's real easy because like the queens are so talented that something like you could have wore a drop earring. Ooh, you could have did a more bold brow. Ooh, you could have did a headband. Those type of things could, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, you could have did a little extra kick right there. When the competition is like, look to your left, look to your right, the girls are serving it. Even the girls who are not even who I don't even identify as like my front runners, they're in their head. You can tell that they think they serving it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta come with, you know, with that special little extra little detail is very important. So I mean, we come down to our top two. Our top two is the Ebony Enchantress, Simone, and the Olivia Lux Be a Lady Tonight. So that's who we have there. I thought this lip sync was divine.
I loved it.
You don't got to do a flip, a kick, a dip.
That's what I love the most about it. That's what I love the most about it. Sorry, go ahead.
They gave me. This is the type of lip sync that you. And the fact that this is another thing, we were talking about how different their lip syncs could not have been any different. They were so different. The approach to it, and like they didn't give a fuck about what the other one was doing. It was their stage, it was their moment. I saw their show, and you could have gave it to Olivia. What you could have gave it for the performance, you could have gave it to Olivia or Simone, and I would have been okay. I didn't really like Olivia's runway look that much. I thought it was the character that they were presenting on that stage was very important, and I really ever agree with anything Michelle says, but that was an important moment to see that type of black glamour Hollywood moment from her. It's that era of fashion and arts and entertainment history that we often get left out of, even though we're very influential in it and we're actually looking sickening and stunning during that time and setting trends like we always do. I just thought it just wasn't my favorite. I think that silhouette of dress can be difficult for a drag queen to pull off because, you know, they're doing so much manipulation of their body's form underneath. That type of cut of dress I just didn't think laid on the body in the way that was the most that really showed off what that design could have been. And then the lily on the shoulder was quite small. The flower applique didn't give me drag. It should have been this huge lily, you know what I'm saying, that was made for the shoulder piece, especially because they had on such huge hair, you know. But
yeah, I agree. But like,
that was.
Do you agree with the top two? Do you agree with Simone and Olivia being the top two?
Yeah, but I could have swapped. I could have seen a Tina Burner in the top instead of Olivia.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But the reason why, and this episode, it was just so good and it was so close. And that's like I said last week. There's so many talented queens that could go either way because Tina Burner's mini challenge looks, you know, weren't that great, and Olivia's were bomb. And they both did well in the music number. And they both did well on the runway. Like, it really could have went either way between Olivia, Simone, Tina Burner, and Lala.
Absolutely.
You could have swapped either one of them out and made a case for it.
Before we wrap up, we have to talk about it. Oh my God, Lala Ree looked fucking stunning.
Listen, this is my girl. When she turned that corner, I said, "This is class. This is a classic drag. Like, this is the kind of queens I like to see when I go to live shows." Like, Lala Ree gives me. Turn it out. Oh, they're the ones that are gonna turn it. They're gonna give you personality. They're gonna make you laugh. Classic drag queen. And I wrote, you can tell Tamisha's her mama. Like,
oh yes,
you can tell.
Oh yes, oh yes.
You can tell. I cannot wait till they're reunited next week. I cannot wait for that moment.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to see how that goes because, you know, she mentioned that, like, you know, my mom got me in drag. I did one thing and I did all these shows that one weekend. I was like, fuck this. I'm not doing that no more. And then she came back and they were kind of like, you know, estranged in a way. And then, you know, Tamisha going on was battling cancer. Also, so I'm just so glad to see this type of reconciliation. Not that they had drama, but like just to get back together with one another is just going to be so beautiful to watch and see that type of camaraderie and love and apprenticeship and mentoring and kindness happening from two Black queer people that is so against some of the narrative that I think we see played out about the community of people that look like us. And I am so profoundly happy about it. And y'all stay tuned and keep watching, because when they get my Tamisha, I got all these notes for Tamisha, y'all, but we're gonna say that till she back on the screen next week, because mama, I'm gonna give y'all some homework. Okay, this is the very Reverend Dr. Juanita Bind'Em, and I am calling all of you all that are listening to just type in Tamisha Iman into your YouTube, Google browser, and just go look at some old videos of this bitch from the fucking 90s. Because this is ooh child. Ooh, that's all I gotta say is ooh.
Tamisha is a drag
child.
legend.
Okay.
Drag legend, has legendary children, has legendary performances. Legend. Put some respect on her name.
Yeah, holla at me, I know you know me. Holla at me, I know you know me. Okay, I'm just so into it.
Yeah,
so
and people were saying like that's not a great entrance line, but I'm like, that is her stick. She's been doing that for years. Yeah.
If you don't know her repertoire, but if you know her, if you know about her, you will holla at her because you know her. Okay, okay, because that tagline is famous in the Tamisha Iman fan group family. Listen, we know that. We know what that means.
She be having whole clubs yelling that back at her. So legend. Put some respect on her name.
Holla at me, I know you know me. Yes, I am patting my non-existent weave. Like this is the fucking like it's and you know what though, and also black people, you don't that cadence, that beat, that's just very us. Like the line could be anything with that similar cadence and rhythm, and we'd be down to shout it and jump it and bump it in the motherfucking club. She knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Like I said, legend.
Okay,
legend.
Yes, and I want to, we'll talk about this in the next segment. So all in all, I thought that this was a good episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. I found it more entertaining than last week. Last week was a little monotonous with the format for me, and I am actually very, very excited to see the eliminated queens do what they go do, because it's gonna be the exact same thing, but a little different next week. So I'm interested to see what they serve, because I'm ready for the girls to come back together. That is, I'm really excited to see all 13 queens in the room together.
Right. Speaking of, like, is no one going to go home next week? Like, is there going to be another group that we have to get ready for? Because, like, if we do 3 weeks and no one goes home, we in for a long season. Which, I don't mind. Okay. But, okay, spill it.
That no one's going home to episode 4.
So that means they're going to have to, well, not have to, but in my mind, that means, like, we're going to have a week where 2 queens go home. Like, we're going to have a double elimination at some point. I mean, if we have a double save at some point, it's going to be a really long season.
Well, I think they got, I don't know, I didn't see it, but I thought I saw somewhere that they were slated for 13 episodes outside.
Well, how are they going to do that?
So, because you got to think it's 13 girls. So next week will be at episode 3, so it'd be 10 episodes left, and then if they do a top 4 or top 3, that's all the episodes they need to get rid of, girls. Because you're not eliminated to 0 for the finale, you eliminate into 3 or 4, so it'll be enough episodes. They could even have enough room for a double save if they do a double elim, or they can do like they have some wiggle room with it that they could do. Before we go, we have 2 comments in the queue. Let's play them and hope they're not on some bullshit.
Hey guys, so I just joined your podcast and I love it. I'm loving the avatars. Your vibe is already amazing. I also have my own Drag Race podcast with another friend of mine. We're also super obsessed. So please check us out. We're going to do it again next Sunday. We just did ours today, so you can listen to it. But I do have a question for you, beautiful people. Do you think that who do you think deserved to be eliminated basically on this first episode? Would you have chosen Elliot with 2 T's as well, or would you have chosen somebody else?
Yes, Elliot.
Yes, but we would have definitely, if there was an elimination that happened this episode. Well, honestly though,
I don't think she would have been in the bottom 2 though. I don't think she would have been in the bottom 2.
It would have been Candy and Got Mick, and Candy would have went home, and both of them are my front run. I don't think they would have sent Mick. And the thing with lip syncs is sometimes when you do a lip sync, the performance can get a little desperate. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I like, but if I could just pick whoever, if someone had to go home from this group, it would have been Elliot with 2 T's. They did a beautiful bop ma into a full scooter slam split. The way that they got off the ground was stunning. The way that they, that moment was great, but it was not good enough for me to have kept them amongst them all.
No,
originally, amongst them all. Let's do a comment. Oh, and I saw you with your little shameless plug. So,
yes, I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna check out your podcast. Thanks for listening.
We'll drop a comment on yours too, Boo Boo. Maybe we can do a little collaboration. I'm gonna go back and find you in the comments. So, thank you, Boo Boo. We go play the next comment.
So, how the confessions are recorded, they come in, I think, at the end of recording. And during the show, they have to journal everything they do every single day. So once they finish the day, they are instructed by the production team to journal absolutely everything as much as they can. And I think they are shown the footage back, and then they react to everything, and they can fully record and account what they've experienced on the show, and everything like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought they did with it, is that they took notes and then they bring the girls back towards the end. Because I think if you pay attention, usually they have on the same outfit in confessionals throughout the whole season. So they play the most relevant episodes, because the show is being produced. The show is unscripted, but it is scripted. You know what I'm saying? They know, the story producers know where they need to stick and plug things at. So they're showing them probably the relevant content, and then having them respond to it. And the story's producer's job is to ask them the right questions to get the answer that they're looking for. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Well, this has been episode 2 of Drag from the Left, your weekly digital series where we dish all things RuPaul's Drag Race and social events that are happening around the world from a radical leftist perspective. My name is Reverend Dr. Juanita Bind'Em.
My name is Avery.
And we thank you for tuning in. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to go and talk about Call In, Call Out, where we're going to speak specifically more about, social issues and implications that the show has. Alrighty, we'll see you back shortly.